Making a video, response video to Andy. Who knows what the hell he's talking about? Yeah, no, I don't. I'll play some of the video and we'll just play with his phraseology and his intensity in trying to convince, or I mean, talk about in some sort of conversational way, without any agenda. Whatever he's trying to say, I don't know. So yeah, philosophically, everybody's just unraveling. I mean, it's like you're just watching this thing, and it's just like nobody is coherent anymore. I mean, they're all turning into just purveyors of mush and fluff and feathers and all that stuff that just floats in the air, and just you say, how did that get in the air? I mean, it's just nonsense everywhere. Alright, so anyway, he does this whole Lord of the Rings thing, blah blah blah, talking about good and evil. And yeah, these stories we tell ourselves, this is what we live for. Yes, everybody, the formula has been found out. Okay, yeah, we all kind of live to be heroic, and I mean live in terms of our psychology, in terms of doing the right thing and being somebody and accomplished, and we have a definition of that. And the Lord of the Rings is just this perfect formula. I mean, it has little love stories and has some tragedy in there, and but you have this adventure you're on, this good purpose you're going to accomplish, and you're going to win, and you're going to be great, and yay for our side. And so it's just like scoring a goal in a sport. I mean, yes, we're sport addicts. People are just so caught up in this competition thing in the game. And so, yeah, the Lord of the Rings made the game really easy because, yeah, all the pretty people are the good guys and all the ugly people are the bad guys. I mean, they made it really easy, right? They couldn't make the slobbering, drooling enemy any more slobbery or drooly, right? And then very... almost, to use Andy metaphors of religion, it's almost the nunnery kings, they're in their robes and they're all mean and angry and snarly, like some bitch nun or something. Yeah, and they're like the king of the trolls and, the nasty bits. And they're going to come and drool on you, But they're not intrinsically, the evil isn't described as anything other than they're going to come and take your house or something, or they're going to they're going to live in your basement, or they're going to hang out under your bridges. There's no real explanation of exactly what the evil is, like whether it's like what they're going to bring gambling to your town, drinking and debauchery of some kind. So yeah, it's not a very well defined evil, except that they're ugly and smelly and they're going to drool on you, and that'll be just awful and nasty, and they're probably going to go duty in your front yard. And so, yeah, life will be ruined because the orgs, or whatever they are, will poop in your yard. So, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, it doesn't make any sense as anything connected to reality, but it just makes sense as a story, as something to live for, and la 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 la. So anyway, let's go back to the real context. And so he takes this as some sort of enduring fundamental feature of existence, is this battle that we're on, this adventure, and it's an infinite adventure, infinity and beyond again. We're back to the same old fable that people just don't want to deal with the universe as it is, and that human life has been a tiny little speck in time of the universe, and that most of the universe isn't doing any of this living thing, and most of the things doing the living thing, 99.9999999999999999999% are doing something pretty disgusting, like injecting their maggots into caterpillars or something. Just horrible, awful, nasty crap. And that life itself is pretty disgusting and stupid. It's just wiggly things, little machines saying, I want, I need, I take. I want, I need, I take. Yeah, that's all. There's nothing else going on here. That's the biology. And we can acknowledge what it is. And we can also understand that it's biology. It's a kind of chemistry. It isn't magic. It isn't enduring. It isn't some special force of the universe. It's just what chemistry does under specific, complex circumstances where molecules replicate in a specific way where they're a blueprint and not actually an active participant. I mean, it's a complex process that evolves out of time and interaction. But there is no evidence that it's enduring or that it's a primary function of the universe. It's an infestation on one planet. It's a kind of thing that happened on one planet. That's all you have evidence of. The rest of this storytelling, the rest of these myths you have about the truth are the scientific approximations of people living thousands of years ago who didn't even know what a fart was made out of. And you're going to tell me that they had the truth. They know what the universe is doing. I mean, this is just baby talk. Fuckers. Anyway.
I wonder what you would call that state. That state that you simply cannot handle the default position.
And what does that mean? What is it? You cannot handle the default position. And what he's basically saying is, oh, you know, I go to work for 30 years, I get some kind of cancer, I get a disability, and then I have my golden years where I sit in a rocking chair and talk about how all them young critters they're all misdirected. They don't know their asses from their elbows and such. And then I die. Oh yeah, I can't deal with that. Okay, yeah, I'll say, okay, I can't deal with it. Oh, but I'm dealing with it, aren't I? Yeah. Yeah, I think it's ludicrous and preposterous that I'm playing an imbecilic, stupid game because my dumb cunt mother was a stupid whore who couldn't figure out that maybe there's something else to do than taking care of babies. Actually, she had babies, and then she kind of wanted to drive off a bridge. Yeah, she had a period there where we didn't see Mommy for a while because Mommy was not doing very well. Oh, well, anyway, get back to the video.
That if you take away all of your distractions, it drives you mad.
It drives you mad! Or it drives you to make YouTube videos where you say things like, well, wait a minute, why don't we just slow down a little bit and analyze what we're doing and say, hey, does this make any sense to do this bullshit, to live these lies, to live in this fake, putrid, superficial, cosmetic, dumb, lowest common denominator world? I mean, shouldn't we treat trying to live in the highest uncommon denominator world? Shouldn't we all strive to be like intelligent and sensible and logical instead of poo-eating morons? I mean, should we even have that conversation? So that's what it drives me to do. I guess that's madness, is to say, hey, let's come up with a better strategy than play along. Yeah, let's not play along. Well, the rabbit says so too. Thunderfoot owes me royalties. Yeah, I know. Thunderfoot really did steal rabbithood. Bastard. How dare he.
Does or kills you like it does in Zopf's cavemen in The Last Messiah. Or it turns you into something utterly cruel and evil like Hitler or Sauron.
Right. So we have examples of that somewhere. I mean, look, the very idea of comparing Hitler to Sauron is kind of retarded anyway. I mean, you know, Hitler was wrong for a lot of things, but he was right about some things, and so unlike Sauron, who apparently has absolutely no agenda but to make a whole zillions of trolls so they'll drool on you. I don't know what else he's trying to accomplish. Yeah, I don't know, get a big ring collection. I mean, we really don't have his agenda written down anywhere. He doesn't have a platform. You know, at least Hitler had one of those. It was stupid, and I mean, the unification of Europe thing was probably pretty smart, but yeah, do it at the expense of the you know, the undesirables. I mean, it really was just about revenge anyway, wasn't it? I mean, it was just payback for past crimes, kind of a bullshit.
would you call that? I don't know, ontophobia? How's that for a crazy word for it?
Yeah, how about that? Let's just make up a bunch of stupid, idiotic words for stupid, idiotic concepts that don't really exist. Okay, you have a Zoron complex. I'm going to give that a name. Fuck you.
Or meso-ontology, the hatred of existence.
No, the recognition that existence is fundamentally flawed in that the fundamental premise is make a mess, clean up a mess. That is sort of fundamentally broken. Let's create a need that doesn't need to exist. Yeah, that is a little bit stupid. I don't think you have to call that something. I mean, it's not like if somebody, what do you call it when somebody describes reality? You're going to have a word for that? When somebody actually points out the fact that your shit does stink, that somehow now you're going to call them a misontologist? No, I think they're going to call them reasonable and sensible and logical.
I don't know. But it does seem to be about as undesirable a state of being as one is possible to conceive of.
Really? Is that how it works for you? There's no conceivable state of being more horrible than recognizing that, oh, I'm just playing a biology game. Me hungry, me go eaty. Oh, I get it. Wow, that was just horrible. The most horrible thing that's ever happened on the history of the planet Earth is the realization that I'm part of a futile, stupid game that's being perpetuated by stupid motherfucking retards. Oh, gee, that's so horrible. I'd much rather have knives shoved into places on my body that would be unpleasant to have knives shoved into. I can't imagine anything worse. Brain cancer. No, that would be fun compared to recognizing that people are dumb, motherfucking, stupid cunts. No, it's unpleasant to recognize that you're all stupid, motherfucking jackasses. But I think there's worse states of mind. I think there's worse states of being. I believe there are.
Being itself is the problem. There's a streak of this in my pet sort of Eastern philosophy, Jainism, where it's almost as though one gets the impression that the true horror of existence is existence itself.
Yeah, existence itself. I'm a maniac. Can't you see it? I can see you. God, this guy is fucking scaring me a little bit. And I mean, that's a scary motherfucking face. You gotta concede. Anyway. Yeah, look, existence itself is kind of horrific, okay? We're living on a planet where most of the organisms are involved in some kind of act of cannibalism, strictly speaking, okay? They are cannibalizing organisms of equal sentient value to themselves. It is really quite disgusting and grotesque. But the real horror is that you motherfuckers have brains with billions of neurons in them, okay, and you won't admit the truth. You'll keep making up fucking idiotic stories in there, okay, to keep justifying your idiocy and your stupidity and your fucktarded addictions. Alright, you'll never break free of your insane devotions to stupid, immature, childhood fucking addictions. Jesus. No fucking mental character whatsoever.
In a universe that will always exist. The Jane will
always exist. So again, he says this shit, and it's absolute shit, right? I mean, we know this is absolute shit. It's based on no factual theory whatsoever, no theory that has evidence, that demonstrates it in some way. This forever before and forever in the future thing. None of that's demonstrated by a fact of some kind.
of existence, the Jain version of samsara, seems to hold that existence, phenomenality, the wheel of existence will continue, has never started turning, the wheel of existence, and will never stop. It just is.
So what? So the wheel of existence just is. So before the earth existed, the wheel of existence was working somewhere. Somewhere there was wheels of existence happening that mattered somehow. I mean, let's just keep denying the truth, right? Let's just keep pretending that life just poofs out of nothing. It just grows out of a piece of dirt, okay? And it just evolves into a sentient, feeling, thinking, conscious being, just like that. No problems whatsoever, no complexity whatsoever, no perfect storms involved, no Yahtzee dice landing on top of each other kind of probabilities. No, it just all happens automatically, says the retarded 4,000-year-old idiots. Well, 2,000.
And the only thing to do about that is to get off. To get off that wheel. You can't destroy it. Some people might attempt to destroy the...
Well, whatever. The wheel. Get off the wheel. That's right. The wheel is called DNA. Okay, that's what it's made out of. And it replicates. And we as human beings now can control that. It's no longer natural selection. It's now human selection. It's the human beings are now conducting the experiment. The experiment is on their hands. The blood is on their hands. The game is on their hands. And people like you keep talking as if this is something we have no control over, and so therefore we should just be wheel riders. And other people try to explain that maybe you should exercise your fucking intelligence a little bit, get with the program, recognize where you came from, green slime, recognize that most of your ancestors were horrific monsters by your present sensibilities. If you had to live with your ancestors, you wouldn't fucking like it, okay, because they were slimy, and they had lots of gnarly teeth, and they were not pleasant organisms. And that's where you came from. You're a fucking machine that consumes, and that's what you do, alright? Yeah, deal with that fact.
Universe or the multiverse or existence itself, but
the multiverse. He just throws this stuff out like it's just this glib bullshit, And I guess you assholes would call him on this. You atheists would call him on it if he said, deal with angels and gorks. Yeah, you'd call him on it, But he uses some sort of word that has some sort of pseudoscience veil of legitimacy on it, the multiverse, and you all fall for it. The new fucking figments of your imagination, new figments of human imagination. Okay, so yeah, it's not angels anymore, now it's multiverses.
Good luck. And again, the horror of existence is existence itself, and the best thing to do is to cease to exist. Now, I guess that would be meso-ontology? I don't know. Or
No, it would be rational deduction. Rationally deducing that, okay, it's an unneeded need, why create it? It costs, it's expensive, there's no doubt about it, and it's going to cost and be expensive in very unfair and without consent ways. It's essentially going to torture things for the benefit of things that don't need to exist. It does sound like it's all negative in the sense that it cannot possibly run a profit. There is no way to profit. There's no need being served but the needs you created. That's not going to work logically.
So, philontology? I don't know what you'd call that.
Stupid.
But positive desire for non-existence.
Positive desire. Now you see, these are the kind of things where you just say, why do they play these games with words? Positive desire. It's redundant. Positive desire? Come on.
For ceasing to have an ontological state as
Ceasing to be a victim of somebody's frickin' Super Bowl game. That's right. I mean, this is essentially some idiotic thing you do. You say you want to play the life game. You are hungry. Well, go ahead and be hungry in your own house, okay? But when you decide to throw your garbage onto somebody else, when you decide that your game is allowed to cost somebody else their welfare or harm or suffering, that's where you go too far. So you go too far. You're rude. You are gorkish or orcish or whatever. You're drooling, slobbering monsters who don't give a fuck about the victims. And that's what makes you evil.
A counter to a true hatred, fear, terror, horror of...
Yeah, just make up, you people are just so obnoxious. You just glibly talk about this shit like it isn't real. Like horror really isn't horror. Like suffering really isn't suffering. Because, yeah, right now you're feeling okay and you're doing okay. And so these words don't mean anything to you. But they do mean something in the world. It is experienced by people in the world. And it's just really grotesque. I mean, when you're at your worst, okay, when you're dying of cancer and you're at your very worst, please make a video and talk this crap, this tripe. Alright? Talk this tripe and this crap about how you think it's all okay. Why there's blood flowing out of your ass. Alright? Do me that favor. Give me that promise that when the blood's flying out of your fucking ass, you'll make a video talking about how suffering's nothing, how it doesn't mean anything, how it's all just horror and suffering. Who's bothered by that stuff? Why don't you do me that favor, fuckhead?
Existence. You see, when in The Call of Cthulhu by H.P. Lovecraft, when the sailors go off to that rock and they find Cthulhu in his cave, or in his tomb, or whatever you want to call it.
No, who cares? Do you care? I don't give a fuck.
Call it. They describe the darkness in which Cthulhu lives, or doesn't live. He's dead, but he's existing, I guess, as a positive darkness. A darkness that has an existence beyond the mere absence of light. And that is a really good metaphor, if you ask me, and it's very similar.
Oh, yes. Darkness, it's more than the mere absence of light.
Similar to Sauron. The positive, virulent, active non-existence, or non-being.
The active non-existence or non-being. So what is it? Ghosts now? We're going to have a conversation about ghosts. The active non-being. Come on.
You still perceive things. You're still conscious, but you find that state utterly intolerable.
This fantasy state of not being dead, but not being alive. Okay, so now purgatory is now hell, because it's utterly intolerable.
I don't think one can...
You should just stop right there. I don't think. Yes, you don't think about facts and evidence. You think about bullshit and nonsense. Yes.
Encounter a dilemma more fundamental than that one.
Right. Okay. So the zombie scenario is somehow a dilemma that we should really seriously worry about. It's a serious, real problem of the human existence that you may become a zombie. Yeah. And be alive but dead in the darkness that is no darker than the darkest of the non-lighted darkness. Right. But you shouldn't be scared to get cancer. Yeah, no, that's no problem. Fuck. So don't be afraid of cancer, but be afraid of becoming a zombie. Shit.
Shakespeare, to be or not to be. Well, do you have any bloody choice?
Yeah, that's the whole point. Yeah, we do, exactly. People have the choice to make something be or make something not be. That is their choice. Okay, yes, to procreate or not to procreate. And it's an easy question to answer if you have anything, any kind of, even the most rudimentary decency, some sense of ethics. You know that you don't have a right to impose your idiotic notions of accomplishment, your hopes and wishes for your own silly, stupid life on somebody else. That's idiotic, retarded, foolish, stupid, mean. It's bullying, okay? Having babies is bullying. Stop doing it. It's bad. It's nasty. Ugh, Jesus. God, I hate this guy. Yeah, I really do hate this crap. Ugh. You know, look. You know, we can understand the good and the evil here. We can understand the difference between the comfort, the warm blankie, okay, somebody's love, and being injured and harmed and broken and cold and lonely. We can understand, you know, the difference between a sensation of comfort and relief and sensations of torment and agony and, you know, consuming pain. And so those are the goods and the evils here. You know, there's nothing else. And we know that the good merely exists as a response to the negative, as the absence of the negative. And that's the sad truth of existence, is the good doesn't come first, and then the bad comes to attack it. No, it is the bad that shows up first, and the good is merely suppression of the negative. And the easiest way to suppress the negative is don't fucking create it. Jesus. Stupid. Anyway, enough of a video. So I think I'll put snow shoveling in the background, just because I have a video of snow shoveling, right? So put that in the background. Yeah, why not?